Last week, Governor Inslee updated the rules for the Safe Start reopening plan for restaurants and other businesses. Today, we have the Executive Director of the Olympia Downtown Alliance, Todd Cutts, to talk about how the new rules affect the businesses here in downtown Olympia. Hi, Todd. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Robert.
Well, you launched the campaign Love Oly and Dine Week that ran from September 28th through October 4th, where customers could pick up a passport, visit local businesses for a Love Oly sticker and chances to win prizes. How'd you come up with this idea and how did it go?
Yeah, thanks, Robert. Shop and Dine Week, Love Oly Shop and Dine Week was a really fun event, I think, for our downtown community, our businesses, but also our community at large. Our premise was heading into the fall and winter that our businesses would be challenged. I think the summertime, the nice weather offered us an opportunity to have people more outdoors than they are headed into the fall winter season in our great Pacific Northwest. We usually every fall, actually twice a year, but once in the fall, do a progressive dinner around downtown called Sip, Savor, and Stroll. We're not able to do that for obvious reasons given the pandemic. So we started with the idea of a restaurant week. We talked to our restaurants about that and kind of took some feedback from them. And we expanded that into including retail to make it our Shop and Dine Week. Credit really goes to one of our partners, Mosaic Marketing Studios, who is we work with for all our marketing needs, and our internal promotions committee, which is made up of downtown businesses and communications professionals for brainstorming, helping to work through kind of what the messaging, what the theme was, what we wanted this event to look and feel like. We understood that during this time, obviously a really challenging time for our businesses, that they were going to embrace something that was low cost and low resource in terms of their time, their staff time, the business owner's time. So we really tried to create an event around that. That's kind of how it came about.
Excellent. How about the Thurston Strong initiative? What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so we are a partner in Thurston Strong, but not the lead agency in it. So we do participate. Thurston Strong overall, it's a economic recovery task force during this time. They're trying to work to create a response, a multifaceted response to the pandemic, the impacts that we've had in the broader Thurston County community overall. So you have, in my neck of the woods, the city of Olympia has been a big player in that. The Thurston County Chamber of Commerce, Experience Olympia and Beyond, and many other partner organizations, as well as the Thurston Economic Development Council, do a few things really well. A clearinghouse for grants. So it's a space to get information out to businesses during these challenging times for resources that are out there from a monetary perspective, but also personal protective equipment and those sort of orders, small business training, also toolkits for businesses on how they can open back up, stay open, operate in a way that's safe for our residents, our community to go into, and then just generally providing updates on what's going on in our business community and our regional economy.
Excellent. Well, in a couple of weeks, we've got Halloween. And so there's a big discussion on whether it's safe to go trick-or-treating. I know in the past that some trick-or-treating has taken place downtown. Olympia businesses have given out candy. What does it look like this year? Is it safe? Are we going to be doing anything?
Sure. So that is not a event the Downtown Alliance actually manages. The event in the past has been managed by Mix 96 KXXO. As I understand it, Mix 96 this year will be doing a virtual Halloween costume contest. So I know that information can be found on KXXO about that. It began on October 5th, ends on November 1st at 11:59 p.m. And they'll be accepting those submissions online.
They're accepting pictures of your kids in their costumes, and they're going to put it on their website.
Correct.
Is that what they're doing?
Correct.
Okay, but probably no trick-or-treating downtown.
I'm not hearing of businesses currently that will be, have a formal event like Mix does. There may be one-off businesses that are handing out, candy for trick-or-treating and treats for trick-or-treating. But there's no organized contest that I'm aware of. Again, that's usually Mix, and they're taking a different format this year. I would say, generally speaking, from an event perspective, our organization's job, and Mix and other organizations do a great job planning events. Certainly for us, those are downtown events. A little bit counterintuitive and something we're still getting used to. We're trying to typically put as many people into as small a space in our downtown as possible at any given time. And right now we just can't do that. We have to be sensitive to the health of our community, which is the top priority. So doing events like Shop and Dine Week that we talked about allows us to spread that out a little bit more kind of a passive engagement of our community. I will say with that, it was great to see any event downtown, but an event like that where it's supporting our downtown business community, because our community, we always hear, what can I do to support businesses during this tough time? And that's, the type of thing that they can do. And we gave them an outlet for that.
Gotcha. Well, on October 6th, the governor made several updates to the Safe Start reopening plan, including moving the alcohol cutoff time for restaurants from 10 to 11 p.m., removing the household member requirement for in-person dining, and increasing table size to 8 individuals for phase 3. How do these updates affect local businesses here?
Sure. Anything helps at this point. If we're, safely allowing more community members, guests into our restaurants, into our shops, that just means, the potential for increased sales. And at this time, our businesses are challenged, and we certainly need that. I would also say from an operational perspective for our restaurants in particular, when you talk about, limiting it to household members at the same table, I heard challenges around that from our restaurants, trying to determine who's in the same household and who's not in the same household. And how do you go about doing that from an operational perspective? You can have your closing time at one time, and that's pretty easy. You can have how many people at a table, but when you start to talk about some of these ins and outs, you're placing additional challenges on our businesses that are already struggling in a lot of regards.
Right. And how do they enforce that? And that's true.
Right.
So what can you tell me about businesses in Olympia that have folded? How many businesses have closed, and what are the immediate causes?
Sure. So, to start, I'll say we did a business survey in June of this year. So, as we headed into COVID and we had a couple months of experience for our downtown, what the impacts were going to be, we asked our businesses questions really regarding the health of the downtown business community here. We asked our businesses how soon they would be at risk of permanently closing if the governor's phased approach occurred as planned. Obviously, it hasn't occurred as planned. We've stepped through those phases a lot slower than we would like to, for good reason. So we heard from 54% of our respondents, we had about 100 businesses respond to that, that they weren't concerned about closing permanently. However, we did hear from 38% of our respondents that they believe their businesses would be at risk of closing permanently in the next 12 months. So that was back in June. Of that, 22% were concerned about the risk of closing within the next 6 months. So those are huge numbers for us, and obviously really concerning. We are seeing some of that, unfortunately, coming through now. For some reporting that we have to do to stay an accredited Main Street organization, which is a national accreditation for our organization, we track how many businesses are coming in and out of downtown. If you aggregate the second and third quarters, we have had 12 businesses close within that time period, which I would say certainly some of those are related to COVID. But isn't too far outside of what we might see otherwise. I would say it's probably a little bit elevated. We've also seen 7 new businesses open downtown. So we've had a net loss of 5 businesses in terms of opens and closures in downtown. And I think it really depends business by business in terms of kind of what they do, what their operations are, on how COVID has impacted them. Some of them are able to buffer themselves a little bit because maybe they're a restaurant that can do outdoor seating. That becomes tougher in the fall, but some of our restaurants down here don't have that opportunity, so they'd be impacted more. So, business to business, you kind of have to look at what they do, and some of our businesses have been more challenged than others.
Yeah, I'd imagine nightclubs aren't going to survive, but bars that have food probably are doing okay.
Right, and I would say through this period, I've just been really impressed by our downtown business. Obviously, that's the world that I live in, but their ability to pivot, to innovate, to be flexible in their operations. And small businesses, that's what they do well, is they figure out a way to make it work. And it's been really hard work, but they can be nimble and they can change some of their operations in ways that can help them.
All right. What are some ways that people can help these businesses stay afloat?
Come downtown, enjoy your downtown. Our businesses down here are very deliberate, diligent about creating safe spaces for the community to come down. And my observation, by and large, is they're subscribing to the governor's Safe Start orders. Be assured that that is happening downtown. As you're moving around downtown, I would say the city of Olympia has put big investments into recovery of the downtown. And one of those investments has been just the streetscape overall downtown. So during this period, they put additional funding into pressure washing of our sidewalks downtown. They put money into weeding the flower, the tree wells and the landscaping strips, and putting mulch down. Our streets are looking cleaner than ever right now. I've been here 3.5 years, and I would say best that I've seen them look. There's also a grant program right now to help businesses recover, a couple different grant programs. One of them that we're administering to help actually the physical built environment of buildings downtown, whether it's new facades, paint jobs, additional lighting, that sort of thing, to really make downtown sparkle. So during this period, but also coming out of this period, we're well positioned to bring our community back. So with all that said, when I come down here on Saturdays and Sundays, I would say we're regaining customers. We don't have as many customers as we did pre-COVID for obvious reasons, and people have to judge their own comfort levels with this sort of thing. I feel good about the direction we're going in terms of our customers coming downtown, but we need more of them. We need them coming in and, reacting to their comfort level. There are alternatives right now to going in stores if you're not feeling comfortable, though. A lot of our retailers, a lot of our restaurants are, doing takeout or curbside delivery. So just if you're not comfortable going in a store, seek out some other opportunities. Because if our community wants a vibrant, thriving downtown, this is a crucial period to make sure that we retain that.
Well, and also maybe that people could buy gift cards for Christmas coming up and things like that for local businesses. Sure.
There's that opportunity as well. And we're working on our holiday plans right now. We're going to light up downtown over the holiday season. Really excited about that. We're talking about a similar program to Shop and Dine Week. So as that comes out, we'll be pushing information out to our public.
Yeah. Speaking of the holidays, you usually do the Downtown for the Holidays event. What does that look like this year?
Yeah, so unfortunately, given the pandemic and the restrictions, again, we can't bring more than 50 people gathered at one time in one place. So where we typically do our Jingle Bell Parade, we do the tree lighting, we do Santa visits, we're not going to be able to do any of those things this year. But in partnership with the city and other community organizations like the Olympia Art Space Alliance, we are doing other things to enhance that physical environment. So like I said, we're really going to be lighting up downtown. You're going to see holiday lights all over the place, kind of that welcoming gateway, signaling this festive environment for our guests to come downtown. We are talking about a customer loyalty thing, similar to our Shop and Dine Week. More details on that to come, but trying to get those customers down here. I think it'll be a fun holiday season, albeit different. We're in the COVID environment, and we ask our community, our customers, to be patient as we move through this period, but I think it'll be a good time.
Well, how can people stay up to date on like events that you might have, maybe virtual events or things like that, and get other updates from the ODA?
Sure. So certainly our website is a resource. It's downtownolympia.org. There's also a button to subscribe to our newsletter, which is a weekly newsletter. It offers a great amount of up-to-date, fresh information on there about what's going on downtown every week. Also follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We're constantly pushing new content out through those channels.
All right. Thanks, Todd. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
I'm appreciative of the love that Oli has given us, through this time, and the Love Oli campaign, but obviously also the broader Thurston County community. We need to continue to feel that. So when you're thinking about your holiday gift giving options, think about buying local and supporting your local businesses. These are people that they live here, they make their living here, they're employing local people. We need to support our community and ourselves right now.
All right, cool. Thanks, Todd. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
You can follow the Olympia Downtown Alliance on Facebook at Olympia Downtown Alliance, Instagram and Twitter at Downtown Olympia. Visit their website at downtownolympia.org and sign up for their newsletter. For questions, email them at info@downtownolympia.org. If you have any thoughts or suggestions for topics we should cover, please send me an email, rkam@tcmedia.org. Stay updated with Thurston Community Media and stay safe, Thurston County.